Your home can look like it was designed by a professional, not by spending thousands, not by hiring anyone, not by gutting a single room, just by knowing the right ideas and having the courage to try them. I am talking walls that stop people mid-sentence, shelves that look like they belong in a design catalog, corners that used to collect dust now looking like the best spot in the whole house. Today on Daily Garden Fix, we are going through 14 DIY home decor ideas that are unexpected, budget-friendly, and genuinely stunning. Not the obvious stuff you have seen 100 times. The ideas that make people walk into your home and ask, "Who did your interior design?" The answer is going to be you. Let's get into it. Welcome back to Daily Garden Fix. If you are new here, welcome to the family. This channel is about making your space beautiful without making your bank account cry. Every single idea you're about to see costs less than most people spend on one throw pillow at a department store. Hit that like button right now before we go any further. Not at the end, right now. Because if even one of these ideas transforms a room in your home, you will wish you had hit it sooner. 14 ideas. Let's go. Idea number 1. The gallery wall with a twist. Idea number 1. And this is the one that instantly makes any room look curated and intentional, is the gallery wall. But not the gallery wall you have seen everywhere. This is the gallery wall with a twist. Most gallery walls fail because they are too uniform. Same frames, same spacing, same height. They end up looking like a school corridor rather than a home. The trick is deliberate imperfection. Mix frame sizes aggressively. Tiny 4x6 frames sitting next to large 16x20 frames. Mix frame finishes. Black metal, aged gold, natural wood, clean white. Mix what goes inside them too. A printed photo next to a piece of fabric art next to a single bold word printed on plain paper next to a dried botanical pressed behind glass. Here is the part most people skip. Before you hammer a single nail, lay your entire arrangement out on the floor first. Live with it for a day. Move things around. Once you love it, take a photo of the layout on your phone so you can reference it when you go to hang everything. One more thing. Offset your arrangement so it is not centered on the wall. Hang it slightly to one side or start it from a corner. Off-center gallery walls look intentional and artistic. Perfectly centered ones look like you tried too hard. Frames from thrift stores, dollar stores, and discount home goods shops. Spray paint them all the same finish if you want cohesion, or leave them mismatched if you want character. Either way works beautifully. Budget: $10 to $30. Impact: enormous. Idea number 2. The lime wash paint wall. Idea number 2 is the single most dramatic room transformation you can make with a brush and a bucket. The lime wash paint wall. Lime wash paint creates a textured, aged, almost stone-like finish on any wall. It looks like something from a Tuscan villa or a boutique hotel. It adds depth, character, and warmth that flat paint simply cannot touch. And the technique to apply it is genuinely one of the easiest things a beginner can do. Yet you do not need special tools. A wide brush, a damp cloth, and a tin of lime wash paint, available at most home improvement stores or online, is all you need. Here is the technique. Dampen your wall lightly with a wet cloth first. Then apply your lime wash paint in loose crisscross strokes. Not neat, not uniform. Vary the pressure. Let some areas be thicker and some thinner. While it is still wet, go back over sections with a barely damp cloth and soften some of the edges. The variation is what creates that beautiful aged depth. Do one wall only. An accent wall behind your sofa, your bed, or your dining table. One lime wash wall in a room is a stunning feature. 4 lime wash walls in a room is overwhelming. Let it be the hero. Colors that work best: warm whites, soft clay, dusty terracotta, aged sage green. And these tones look most authentic with the lime wash texture. A single tin of lime wash covers most accent walls. Budget, $20 to $50. And the wall it creates looks like it cost $500. Idea number 3, the floating shelf. Vignette. Idea number 3 is about turning empty wall space into a story. The floating shelf vignette. A single floating shelf on a bare wall is fine, but a cluster of floating shelves arranged at different heights, styled with a deliberately curated collection of objects. That is something else entirely. That is a feature. That is the thing people walk over to look at more closely. Here is how to arrange them. Install 3 shelves at staggered heights, not evenly spaced, not perfectly aligned. 1 higher on the left, 1 lower on the right, 1 at mid-height slightly overlapping the space between them. The irregular arrangement creates visual movement that a neat row of identical shelves never achieves. Now, styling is everything. Every shelf vignette needs 3 types of objects to work: something tall, something round, and something that trails or drapes. A tall candle or slender vase. A round object like a globe, a bowl, or a plant pot. Something that softens the edge. A trailing pothos, a draped string of beads, a small hanging tassel. Add 1 book laid flat as a platform to raise a smaller object. Add 1 natural element, a piece of driftwood, a stone, a bundle of dried pampas grass. And leave space. Do not fill every inch. Empty space on a shelf is not wasted space. It is breathing room, and it makes everything else on the shelf look more considered. Floating shelves cost $10 to $20 each at most hardware stores. The objects to style them. Source from thrift stores, your own home, and nature. Total budget, $20 to $50. Idea number 4. The woven wall. Hanging. Idea number 4 is one that adds warmth, texture, and a handmade soul to any blank wall. The woven wall hanging. Large blank walls are one of the hardest decorating problems in any home. A painting can feel too formal. A mirror can feel too expected. But a large hand-woven wall hanging, in natural fibers, earthy tones with varying textures, feels warm, personal, and completely unique. And here is the thing most people do not know. You do not need to buy one. You can make one for almost nothing, and it will look better than anything sold in a store. All you need is a wooden dowel rod, some natural macrame cord or chunky yarn in neutral tones, and scissors. Cut your cord into lengths about twice the finished size you want. Fold each length in half and loop it over the dowel using a simple lark's head knot. Then work in rows of square knots, alternating which cords you knot together each row. Add lengths of thicker yarn in different textures between sections. Trim the bottom into a fringe, straight, angled, or V-shaped. The imperfections in a handmade piece are not flaws. They are the whole point. They are what makes it look artisan and intentional rather than mass-produced. Hang it from a simple nail on a large blank wall. Pull a chair underneath it. The transformation of that wall is instant. Dowel rod, $2. Cord and yarn, $5 to $15. Total budget, under $20. Idea 5, the repurposed ladder. Display. Idea number 5 takes something you might find in a garage or at a yard sale for almost nothing, and turns it into one of the most talked about features in your home. The repurposed ladder display. An old wooden ladder leaned against a wall instantly becomes a display structure. The rungs become shelves. The whole piece becomes a vertical feature that draws the eye upward and makes ceilings feel higher. Sand it back if it is rough. Paint it if you want it to match your room. Matte black looks incredibly sleek. Chalk white looks soft and vintage. Natural wood stain looks warm and organic. Then lean it at a slight angle against your wall and begin styling the rungs. Drape a folded throw blanket over the top rung. Hang a small framed print from the second rung using a short length of twine. So you place a small plant on the third. Stack 2 or 3 books on the fourth. Hang fairy lights loosely woven through all of it. The latter display works in any room. In a living room, it holds books and plants. In a bedroom, it holds throws and jewelry. In a bathroom, it holds rolled towels and candles. In a kitchen, it holds hanging herbs and small baskets. Old wooden ladder, free to $5 at a yard sale or Facebook Marketplace. Paint or stain, a few dollars more. Total budget, under $15. The result looks like a feature piece from a boutique home store. We are 1/3 of the way through and the ideas keep getting better. Coming up, idea number 8 is one that most people walk past in hardware stores every week without realizing it could become one of the most beautiful design features in their home. It costs almost nothing and the effect is jaw-dropping. Stay with me. Idea number 6. The Botanical Print Wall. Idea number 6 transforms blank walls using nothing more than a printer and a handful of frames. The Botanical Print Wall. Botanical illustrations, detailed drawings of leaves, flowers, ferns, and plants, have been used in interior design for centuries. And the reason they never go out of style is because they bring the outside in. They add life and color and organic shape to any room without the maintenance of actual plants. Here is the secret. You can download stunning, high-resolution vintage botanical illustrations completely for free from public domain archives online. Sites like the Biodiversity Heritage Library and the New York Public Library digital collections have thousands of them. Beautiful, detailed, museum-quality botanical prints that are completely free to download and print. You print them at home or at a print shop on matte paper. Frame them in identical simple black or gold frames for a clean, cohesive look. Or mix mismatched vintage frames for a more eclectic feel. Arrange them in a tight grid, 4 across, 3 down, for a bold, graphic statement. Or scatter them asymmetrically across a hallway wall at different heights for something more playful and organic. Printing costs, a few dollars per print at most. Frames from thrift stores, $1 to $3 each. Total budget for a 12-print wall, $20 to $40. And it looks like you spent hundreds. Idea number 7. The paint. Dipped furniture. Trick idea number 7 takes furniture you already own, or picked up for almost nothing, and gives it a designer upgrade in under an hour. The paint dipped furniture trick. And the concept is simple and the effect is striking. You paint just the bottom portion of furniture legs in a bold contrasting color, as if the piece was dipped into a pot of paint. The rest of the furniture stays its original color or finish. That band of color at the base creates a modern, intentional design detail that makes even the most ordinary piece of furniture look like it was custom made. It works on wooden chair legs, table legs, stool legs, and side table legs. The dipped section should be roughly 4 to 6 inches high, enough to be clearly visible but not so much that it overwhelms the piece. Choose your color with intention. A natural wood table with deep navy dipped legs looks sophisticated and coastal. A white side table with terracotta dipped legs looks warm and contemporary. A plain wooden stool with matte black dipped legs looks sleek and industrial. Tape off your line with painter's tape to get a crisp edge. Apply 2 coats of satin or semi-gloss paint. Remove the tape while the second coat is still slightly wet for the cleanest line. Let it cure fully before use. Paint, a few dollars for a small sample pot. Time, 45 minutes. And a piece of furniture that cost you nothing at a thrift store now looks like it came from a boutique furniture shop. Idea number 8. The Copper Pipe Clothing Rail. Idea number 8 is the one I mentioned earlier. The thing hiding in hardware stores that most people walk straight past. The Copper Pipe Clothing Rail. Copper pipe is one of the most beautiful and underused materials in DIY home decor. It has a warm, rich, a metallic tone that photographs like a luxury product and costs almost nothing. And when you cut it to length, cap the ends, hang it from the ceiling or wall with leather cord or rope, and use it as an open clothing rail or display shelf, it becomes one of the most visually striking features in any bedroom, entryway, or dressing area. Here is how to build it. Buy a length of 15mm copper pipe from any hardware store. Have them cut it to your desired width on site if you do not have a pipe cutter. Buy 2 copper end caps to finish the ends cleanly. Drill 2 small holes near each end of the pipe. Thread leather cord or thick natural rope through each hole and knot it securely. Hang the cords from 2 ceiling hooks or wall-mounted hooks at equal heights. The result is a floating horizontal rail at whatever height you want it. Hang your most beautiful clothing items from it. A collection of white linen shirts, a few vintage jackets, your best pieces. Hang plants from it. Hang small macrame pieces from it. It becomes a display as much as a functional rail. Copper pipe, $5 to $10 per meter. End caps, cord, and hooks, a few dollars more. Total budget, $15 to $25. And it looks like a feature from a high-end boutique interior. Idea 9. The textured pillow wall. Idea number 9 solves one of the most common decorating problems in any home. The headboard wall in a bedroom that feels flat, boring, and incomplete. The textured pillow wall. Instead of buying an expensive upholstered headboard, which can cost hundreds to thousands of dollars, you create the visual effect of a luxurious padded wall using individual fabric panels mounted directly onto the wall behind your bed. Cut pieces of plywood or MDF into identical rectangles. Roughly 12 inches by 16 inches works well. Wrap each piece in a layer of thin foam batting and then in your chosen fabric. Velvet, linen, boucle, or faux suede all look stunning. Pull the fabric taut around the back of the board and staple it securely. Repeat this for as many panels as you need to cover the width of your bed and the height you want behind it. Mount the panels directly onto the wall in a tight grid pattern using small picture-hanging hooks. Uncover the entire wall section behind your bed, floor to ceiling if you're feeling bold, or just from the mattress level up to about a foot above your pillows. The result is a fully upholstered, textured, luxurious-looking headboard wall. It adds warmth, softness, and an incredible sense of depth to the room. And it costs a fraction of what a real upholstered headboard would. Plywood scraps, foam batting, and fabric. $30 to $70 total depending on your wall size. A comparable upholstered headboard from a furniture store, $300 and up. The difference is only effort. We are 2/3 through and the best ideas are still coming. Because idea number 12 is the one that completely changes how you think about ceilings. The one part of every room that most people completely forget about. Yeah, once you see what is possible up there, you will never look at a plain white ceiling the same way again. Keep watching. Idea 10. The mirror. Gallery wall. Idea number 10 takes the gallery wall concept and makes it more dramatic, more light-filled, and more impactful. The mirror gallery wall. Instead of frames and prints, you fill your wall arrangement entirely with mirrors. Different shapes, different sizes, different frame styles. Round mirrors, arched mirrors, small square mirrors, one large ornate vintage mirror as the anchor piece. Arranged together on a single wall, the collection creates something that is part art installation, part functional feature. The reason mirror gallery walls work so well is physics. Every mirror in the collection reflects a different part of the room, a different angle of light, or a different slice of the view outside your window, a different piece of your furniture. The wall becomes alive. It shifts as the light changes throughout the day. It makes the room feel twice as large. Source your mirrors from thrift stores and estate sales. Vintage mirrors with aged frames have a character that new mirrors simply do not. A small round mirror with a wooden frame might cost $2 at a thrift store. A large ornate gold mirror at an estate sale, $5 to $10. Buy every interesting mirror you find for weeks before you start the project. Arrange them on the floor first, just like the gallery wall. Vary the heights when you hang them. Let large and small sit right next to each other. Let round and rectangular touch frames. Total budget, $15 to $40 for a full wall of mirrors, and the effect in the room is genuinely breathtaking. Idea 11. The statement. Ceiling medallion. Idea number 11 is a trick that interior designers have used for decades, and almost no DIY homeowner ever thinks to try it. The statement, ceiling medallion. A ceiling medallion is an ornate decorative disc installed on the ceiling around a light fixture or ceiling rose. Traditionally, they were made from plaster and cost a fortune. Today, you can buy lightweight foam or polyurethane versions for under $20. And once painted and installed, they are completely indistinguishable from expensive plasterwork. But here is the unexpected way to use them. Do not just install one around your light fixture. Install a cluster of 3 or 5 medallions of different sizes on your ceiling, grouped together like an organic arrangement, offset from your light, painted in a contrasting color to your ceiling, or in the same color for a subtle tonal effect. A ceiling painted a deep color, navy, forest green, terracotta, with a cluster of white or gold medallions becomes a feature that makes every person who enters the room look up and say something. Adhesive ceiling medallions, $5 to $15 each. A cluster of 5, $30 to $60 total. And your ceiling stops being a blank afterthought and becomes the most interesting surface in the room. Idea number 12. The painted ceiling trick. Idea number 12. The one I promised you earlier. The idea that changes how you think about the ceiling forever. Paint it. Not white. Color. The ceiling is the one surface in every room that most people never touch. It stays white by default, by habit, by assumption. And that assumption is costing every room in your home one of its most powerful design opportunities. A colored ceiling transforms a room more dramatically than any wall color. Here is why. The ceiling is the largest uninterrupted surface in any room. When it carries color, that color wraps around you. The room feels enclosed in the best possible way. It feels intentional, immersive, and deeply considered. Deep colors work best for this effect. Navy blue on a bedroom ceiling makes the room feel like sleeping under a night sky. Forest green on a living room ceiling makes the space feel like a rich, leafy canopy. Dusty terracotta on a dining room ceiling makes every meal feel warm and intimate. Soft blush on a home office ceiling makes long working days feel less harsh. The technique. Paint your ceiling 2 shades darker than your wall color for a tone-on-tone effect that is sophisticated and easy to pull off. Or go completely contrasting for something bold and unexpected. 1 tin of ceiling paint, $20 to $30. The transformation it creates. The single most dramatic change you can make to a room for under $30. Nothing else on this list comes close. Idea number 13. The vintage crate. Bookshelf. Idea number 13 takes something you can find for almost nothing at markets, thrift stores, and online, and stacks it into one of the most characterful shelving units you have ever seen. The vintage crate bookshelf. Wooden fruit and wine crates have a texture, a warmth, and a handmade quality that no flat-pack bookshelf can replicate. When you collect 8 to 12 of them in similar sizes and mount them directly onto a wall, some facing outward, some turned sideways, arranged in an irregular brick-like pattern, you create a shelving wall that looks like it belongs in a converted warehouse loft. Sand each crate lightly if needed. You can leave them in their natural raw wood state for a rustic look, stain them all the same tone for something more unified, or paint them all a single bold color, deep green, matte black, or mustard yellow, For something graphic and modern, mount them using screws directly into your wall studs. Alternate the orientation as you build the arrangement. One crate facing out, one turned on its side, one stacked diagonally if the arrangement allows. The irregular depth created by different orientations adds incredible visual texture. Style each crate individually. Books in some, plants in others, candles, and objects in others. Vary what you put in each one so the whole wall reads like a curated collection rather than a storage unit. Vintage wooden crates, $1 to $5 each at markets and thrift stores. 12 crates at an average of $3 each, $36. A shelving wall that looks like it cost $500. Idea 14. The doorway. Curtain frame. Idea number 14 is the finishing touch that ties a whole room together, and it is one of the most overlooked decorating opportunities in any home. The doorway curtain frame. Most interior doorways are bare. They are just openings in a wall. But when you hang a curtain in or around an interior doorway, not to block the view, but purely as a decorative frame, something remarkable happens. The doorway becomes a portal. The room beyond it becomes a reveal. The whole space starts to feel layered and thoughtful in a way that is very hard to achieve with any other single decorating move. Here is how to do it. Install a curtain rod just above and slightly wider than your doorway opening. I hang 2 panels of floor-length curtain fabric on either side, pulled all the way back and tied loosely so the doorway remains completely open. The curtains frame the opening like a stage curtain frames a scene. The fabric choice changes the entire personality of the space. Sheer white linen curtains make the doorway feel soft, romantic, and airy. Heavy velvet curtains in deep jewel tones make it feel dramatic and theatrical. Natural jute or woven cotton makes it feel relaxed and bohemian. For extra impact, hang the curtain rod higher than the door frame and use extra long curtains that pool slightly on the floor. This draws the eye upward, makes the ceiling feel higher, and gives the whole doorway a grand architectural quality. Curtain rod, $5 to $15. Fabric panels from a discount home store or repurposed from old curtains, $10 to $30. Total budget, $15 to $40. And every person who walks through that doorway will feel the difference even if they cannot name it. You just got all 14. But before the outro, stay with me for 60 more seconds. Because I have 3 bonus tips that will make every single one of these ideas look twice as good. These are the small finishing details that separate a room that looks nice from one that looks genuinely designed. Do not skip this part. Bonus tip 1. Shop your own home first. Before you buy anything for any of these projects, walk through every room and look at what you already have. A candle from the bathroom might be exactly what a shelf vignette needs, or a throw from the bedroom might complete the ladder display. Moving things you already own costs nothing and often produces the most authentic, personal results. Bonus tip 2. Commit to a color story. Pick 2 or 3 colors and repeat them throughout your space. A copper pipe rail, copper frames, copper candle holders, a sage green pillow, a sage green plant pot, a sage green book on a shelf. Repetition of color is what makes a space feel designed rather than decorated. It connects everything visually and makes even simple budget pieces look deliberate and considered. Bonus tip 3. Layer your textures. Every beautiful room has a mix of hard and soft, smooth and rough, shiny and matte. A smooth lime wash wall next to a woven wall hanging. A sleek copper rail next to a draped linen curtain. A polished mirror next to a raw wooden crate shelf. Texture layering is the invisible ingredient in every room that looks effortlessly styled. Add it deliberately and your home will feel completely transformed. 14 unexpected DIY home decor ideas on a budget. Every single one of them achievable this weekend. Every single one of them capable of transforming a room in your home in a way you will be proud of for years. Here is what to do right now. Pick one idea. Just one. The one that made you stop and think, I could actually do that. Write it down before this video ends. Because the only difference between a home you love and a home you settle for is taking that first step. Drop a comment below telling me which idea you are starting with. The gallery wall? The colored ceiling? The vintage crate shelf? Or tell me. I read every comment on this channel and I reply to as many as I can. If you are new to Daily Garden Fix, subscribe right now and turn on notifications. New ideas every single week. And this community is full of people doing exactly what you're about to do, turning ordinary spaces into something genuinely beautiful on a real budget. Share this video with one friend who has been staring at a blank wall or a boring room wondering where to start. Because this might be exactly the push they need. I will see you in the next one. Keep creating, keep transforming. And remember, your home is a reflection of you. Make it one you are proud to show the world.